all over the place. Whose fault is it? Is it Jalen? Is it the defense? Is it Jonathan Gannon? Is it Howie Roseman? You could go down the list. Is it, of course, the MVP quarterback with the fumble and Jalen Hurts? So we'll just go around the horn. Mike, let's start with you. What happened and whose fault was it?
I go, from the text what I'm thinking. But listen, Jalen Hurts is partly responsible. I'm not gonna lie. You have a turnover. That's a big turnover. It hurts. But to me, the lion's share of it all is on the defense and the special teams, and coaching. I think that second half really showed it all. And that's when the games really made it. You either lose or win. It's really second half. And I think the Eagles, who played well, it wasn't like they got skunked, but they were just not enough. And I think it was just adjustments in the second half and the defense getting exposed that really cost them to lose the game.
All right, Dre, I know you disagree with him. You're bringing the hot. I know you don't like it. Go ahead, buddy.
Wait, what'd he say? Look, man, it took till today for me to really gather my thoughts and whatnot. Yes, I was disappointed from the loss. I was mad first, but then I'm thinking about it. Yeah, it was a disappointment. But look, to me, man, you got to look at every aspect part of what happened. I'm gonna go backwards first. I'm gonna say, because everybody said, "Oh, it was that holding penalty." Nah, it wasn't that did the dagger. It hurt. Don't get me wrong. It basically just didn't give us time to counterattack the Kansas City Chiefs. That's basically what it came down to. I mean, yeah, it did end the game, but even Mayberry said that, yeah, I had my hand on him. But I'm gonna go back, man, to all the way to the first half. I mean, to me, the turnover that Jalen Hurts had during that drive was basically the offsides penalty that we had when we were third down and we're trying to go for the first down and we were delayed a game because we jumped off. Then that next play, Jalen Hurts was trying to roll out, switch to on his protect side, and he fumbled the ball, which cost us 7 points. To me, that is the turning point of why we lost the game. I mean, yes, the defense second half didn't show up, but listen, turnovers is what causes you to lose, in my opinion. If we would have won, then the turnover wouldn't matter. So I have to disagree. You say 90% of the defense. It was more of 50. It was more like defense and Jalen Hurts. I mean, there's no other thing I can say about why we went up 21. We could have been up 21-7 at halftime. That will put Patrick Mahomes on more pressure from our defense if we change our adjustments and never know the outcome of that. What happened is that put pressure on Patrick Mahomes more than what he had. To me, he had an easy way to go in there and then top the score because of that turnover.
Jermaine, you know who I want to blame, and that's my boy Howie. I know you'll never say that.
Listen,
Inexperienced coaches
we're gonna put
who got out-coached. He hired them. Howie put the players on the field. The defensive players on the field didn't produce that game. I will say that 70% of the defensive line, they played the 70% of the snaps. So they got a lot more. Fletcher Cox never played 70% of the snaps the whole year. He did in the Super Bowl. Did they just get run down? What happened?
No, look. We're gonna lay this Howie crap. What you're saying, Sal. All right. Me and Dre talked about this morning. I'm just trying to get my thoughts together because all that text messaging that we was going back. Look, I really didn't have time to go back and text message. I'm glad that we was doing this podcast tonight and everything. Look, Howie is not on the field. Okay, Sal. All right. I will respect what you're saying. If you got a hot nut for Howie because you think that he did this and he did that and whatnot. Listen, Sal.
Say that again.
You have
What?
a hot nut for Howie. All right. My thing is this. Okay. I don't have a problem with Howie anymore because I think he's done a good job over the last
Oh,
2
my
years.
God.
Okay, listen to me.
Oh.
Who hired Howie? Howie didn't come in and is like, "Hey guys, I'm going to be part of the Philadelphia Eagles, so I'm just going to be the general manager." So who hired Howie? How come you're not blaming the owner? You're just putting your emphasis on Howie. Howie is doing what the owner is basically telling him what to do. Jeffrey Lurie is the one that hired Howie, but why are you putting the emphasis on Howie? For what? He put together Sal. He put together a great team this year. Okay. And I'm going to get to the defense in a second, but just answer the question. So why would you? How come you're not saying Jeffrey Lurie? Dallas Cowboys.
Jeffrey
you believe
Lurie
Jerry
does not
Jones,
pick
right?
the players. Jeffrey Lurie does not pick the players. He doesn't hire the coach.
But who
Jeffrey Lurie
hired-
doesn't do that.
He's involved in the coaching staff. Jeffrey Lurie is involved. It's not up to Howie does not have the last say as far as hiring Nick Sirianni and all the defensive coordinators. It's not Howie. It's Jeffrey.
don't know
Jeffrey
about
has
that.
the last say. Yes, come on. Why would Howie's a general manager. Why would he have the last say?
Lurie is not like, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys who's involved in everything. Lurie is more hands off than him. You know?
Okay.
He's not the
so
same.
you mean to tell me
So-
that Howard, you got full reins. You do what you got to do, and he's just going to lay back. So you mean to tell me that Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of this team, the one that signs all the paychecks and all that stuff, don't have nothing to do with what was going on? So I guess he didn't have nothing to do as far as hiring Howie.
All I'm saying is he didn't pick the players. That's all I'm saying that were on the field. Jeffrey Lurie didn't pick the players.
Okay, so
Okay?
Well,
Yeah, that was Howie.
What players do you have a problem
And
with?
the fact of the matter was, he picked up that defensive tackle from Chicago for a 4th-round draft pick, which was awful. The guy went down from 16
Robert
sacks
Quinn.
to 1.
Right. Okay, I can agree with you with that. But
All
you
right.
didn't really. Basically, you didn't need him. Did we leave the league in sacks?
You
Did we
wouldn't.
lead the league
You
in sacks?
wouldn't need him. We got 0 sacks. We didn't get any sacks in the Super Bowl.
Okay, so you was really depending yourself on Robert Quinn to step up. You know he didn't.
No,
step
I was
up all
depending on him to
season.
get field time, at least to give these other guys a break and rotate like normally they do on the
No,
defensive
but
line, which they didn't do.
Okay, out of all these things, you're going to pick Robert Quinn because it's a 4th-round pick, and I'm totally agreeing with you. It was a bust.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm glad it wasn't a higher draft pick or whatever. But Robert Quinn, you really didn't. I mean, you really didn't need him. Honestly, you didn't need him. I'm talking about not at the Super Bowl. Everybody didn't show up. So you can't say,
no question.
Robert
I agree
Quinn.
that.
Yeah,
no,
you can't say Robert Quinn. Everybody didn't show up. I mean, between the 2 tackles, from what I'm hearing on the radio, guess how many tackles between Sue, Lavelle Guy, and Fletcher Cox? Guess how many tackles they had? 1.
5.
That's terrible.
I mean,
That's freaking
Jordan,
terrible.
even Jordan Davis had a tackle. He stopped. He stopped.
No,
What's the name? Number
between
10.
The interior line, there was only 1 tackle.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Fox had.
What I'm saying, it was a combination of a lot of things. I think it was, yes, it was the fumble. Yes, it was the defense. Yes, it was the inexperience of the coaches. Ultimately, Howie is responsible for hiring the coaches,
All right, stop right
inexperienced
there.
or not,
All right.
along with Sirianni.
Okay, stop right there because
He is.
But if you're saying that, then you're telling me that Nick Sirianni sucks. Then that's what you're saying.
I didn't say Sirianni sucked.
You just said Howie hired
Although
him.
I will say,
You just said Howie
I said
hired him.
Howie hired him.
Then Howie
But
sucks. Correct?
remember,
to you.
Sirianni.
Howie sucks to you. Correct.
Remember, Sirianni got the play calling taken away from him because he did suck. Remember, they had to pull the play calling from him because
Who
he
took
was
it
awful.
from him? Was it Sirianni or
was
was
Stike-
it Howie?
Yeah, who took
It was no Sirianni.
That I don't know.
Yeah, I'm telling
So-
you,
Yeah, but-
Sirianni gave it up
But, I
because
mean-
he knew he couldn't do it. So he gave it up to Steichen.
Yeah, but
Sirianni did.
all I'm saying is I'm just trying to understand Sal's his thinking. I mean, if you're telling me that Howie sucks and the coaching sucks, you're telling me Nick Sirianni sucks and he doesn't suck. Okay, I probably agree with you with Steichen and Gannon. Then they're gone. Okay, but
All I said was that he was inexperienced and he got outcoached in the Super Bowl. I didn't say
How
he
did
sucked.
and stop right there, Sal. So how did he get out coached and your team put up 35 points?
How do you get out coached? They got lit up in the second half. They didn't make any adjustments.
Let me go back
out coached.
All right, Sal. Let me go back to that, and I'm glad
How they get out coached? They're up 10 points. They're the second team in the Super Bowl that ever lost by 10 points and gave that up.
Number one.
Second team. No, Jermaine. No way. You're losing this argument. You've already lost, bud. You're done.
No. I'm going to explain myself.
You're done, dude.
You already said it. You talking about Sirianni got out-coached. You knew Jonathan Gannon, all right, the whole season did not make any adjustments in any game. Because you know why? Jonathan Gannon fed off of the freaking offense. Because the offense put up points, so there was no need in his mind that he did not need to make no adjustments. You knew that when he was going into the Super Bowl, Sal. So
I think he made adjustments when the defensive line got hurt and he had some injuries and they couldn't stop the run. And yes, Howie brought in some players, but I think they made adjustments.
Who brought in Sue and Joseph? Who brought them in? Howie. Howie brought them in.
Howie brought them in. And did they do anything in the Super Bowl and did they help?
No, they didn't do anything in the Super Bowl, but you knew with Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon was inconsistent during the whole season, Sal. You knew that. You knew that, Sal.
But Sue and them did contribute us to get to the Super Bowl.
Big time. Yeah.
So, okay, then let me ask you this. Who is Jonathan Gannon's boss then? Sirianni. Sirianni should have taken him aside and said, make the adjustments.
He is not I understand he's the coach, okay? I understand that. But he is not a defensive. You put people in the place for a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. I think, my opinion, I don't know this for sure, but I think Sirianni is he's not a defensive-minded coach. Just like what?
No, he's not. He's an offensive coordinator, of course.
All right, that's what I'm saying. And I'm glad, and I think we all can agree, besides Mike, because he's a San Fran 49ers fan, that we glad that Gannon is going. And Gannon's going to have problems in Arizona and whatnot.
No question.
So,
agreed.
Steichen is a little concerned, but go ahead.
What adjustments could have Gannon made in the second half? I mean, it's the Chiefs that made an adjustment and exposed things that I don't know what Gannon probably could have did as an adjustment. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster got 7 targets. He got 7 catches, 9 targets, and most of that came in the second half. I mean, it was a matchup. If you go and change your coverage on Juju, you're going to open up Travis Kelce, who in the first half, was doing pretty well until they started shutting him down. And I don't know what kind of adjustments you could have made. I mean, the Chiefs found the mismatches, and then it just kind of just opened it up.
And I felt that when I said in our pre-Super Bowl podcast that Travis needed to be shut down early, but Jermaine said let him get his 7 carries. I know I'm thinking after the fact, but we should have shut him down early.
Well, to answer Mike's question, the adjustments they could have made, they were playing zone, and they were getting lit up in the zone. They could have gone man-to-man. They could have given different looks in the zone, and that didn't happen. They were playing very vanilla.
I don't know. I mean, the 2 touchdowns that stood out was the ones where the guy went in motion and cut back and no one covered him. I don't know what Gannon could have did in that place. I mean, the guys are sitting there communicating and they don't know who to cover. And then when Sky Moore got the touchdown, it was kind of the same play, just flipped to the other side, and they got confused. I don't know what Gannon could do. I think he put the people who called the right play. They just didn't execute.
Again, it goes back to the zone there. Yeah.
Right. And how many times, Sal, how many times have you seen that zone the whole season? The whole
season.
What makes you think that, yes, he had a good run against San Fran. He had a good game plan against San Fran. He had a good game plan against the Giants, but it's inconsistent. So I'm not surprised when you say, or when Dre said, it's the defense. Everybody says the defense organic. We knew this the whole freaking season. We did. Mm-hmm. It's not a shock. It's not a shock whatsoever. It's not. That's why I said Jonathan Gannon. They interviewed him, and I was listening on the morning radio with Angelo and stuff, and they basically said when they interviewed Jonathan Gannon, and they asked him, what's your philosophy on defense? Or what's your scheme? You know what this dumbass said? I don't have a defensive scheme. That should have been a red flag right there. Flag right there to say, oh, wait a minute. You don't have a scheme? I never heard no coordinator come off and say they never had a scheme or the philosophy of what's happening. So that was our downhill right there.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
That's part of
that,
it, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I mean, yeah,
no
I mean,
doubt.
you have to still say though. I mean, that defense was good. I mean, it wasn't no
It
slouch. I
was
mean, it was
good.
number two defense all season,
It,
ranked,
it
in terms of
was
yards,
good.
right behind San Francisco, and
Was good.
then then the sacks. I mean, they
You're
almost
right.
broke a record for number of sacks in the
You're
season. So I
right.
mean, there's something there.
Because it's all pending on the offense. Not one game this season. And look, I don't know who's on here and all that stuff, but somebody proved me wrong. But the whole season, the defense did not win the game because the offense always put up points. The defense, Jonathan Gannon fed off of the offense. That's just my opinion. What I'm looking at. That's why there's no need for them to adjust. Because if Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, everybody's putting all these running all over, Miles Sanders running all over, he's saying back there, he's like, well, there's no need for me. I'm just gonna just, rush my four and that's it. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. He fed off of the offense. That's just me. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how you guys feel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, man. I mean,
There's not one time this season that the defense, oh man, the defense pulled it out. No, it was pretty much a team effort because the offense showed up every time that the defense was good. That's just me.
well, it's been brought up
Drake-
that once the lead was taken away, can Philadelphia recover? Well, obviously they didn't. I mean, that was also a good, point that our defense did not capitalize on that. But at the same time, I felt that when it was about third quarter, we kind of got away from how we did get those 2 touchdowns was by testing those rookie corners that Kansas City had. And we got away from it because we start playing mind games with Andy Reid and his coaching, where we try to run, we try to do those little curl routes to the side. That's just, to me, that dink and dunk stuff, that's not what we're made for. We should have just kept throwing it down the field that third quarter, and we might have took the lead back again. So, like I said, man, overall, I'm disappointed. I really thought we were going to win this game. And I'm hoping that next year we can be back there again. It seems like we have the pieces. So
Yeah, I mean, offense nucleus. I mean, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. I know we're gonna be talking about free agency guys. But Miles Sanders, I don't want him back. I mean, he had a bad.
why you don't want Miles Sanders back?
I don't want him back.
Why?
I don't want him back.
He had a Pro
just
Bowl
looked
season.
like
He had
just
over 1,000
wasn't-
He had over 1,000 yards.
He had over 1,000 yards. Yeah, I get it, but that left a bad taste in my mouth. The first play of the game, you get blown up and you lost the ball, and then almost lost the ball again. You know what I mean? So he was kind of on and off this season. You know what I mean? But no, I don't. Shoot, I mean, the way Kenneth Gainwell was running the last 3 games, I mean, shoot. I mean,
Well-
and you get somebody that that's just me. I don't want Miles Sanders back.
You're going to lose Boston Scott too, so
Is Boston Scott a free agent?
he is.
Is he? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Boston Scott, but Sal, I don't think losing a lot of these free agents is going to just say, oh, we're going to go back to a 500 team or below. I think we
Maybe
still
not.
have it.
We can go through.
We still have a good.
You got
know,
Jalen Hurts.
we still have a
That's
good core, I think, together. And
That's
it would be
You
great.
got it.
We don't know. It would be great if Kelsey came back. I'm sorry. Is he coming back? We don't know. But I would like to keep him. I think he's still got enough in him. You know.
Yeah, I think he's got one more.
I think Jason
Yeah.
got one more in him. So I hope he does come back. I hope he's listening.
And you still got to consider the division too.
Yeah.
Some teams will probably be a little bit better. Some probably still be stuck where they're at. Washington probably still be somewhere 9-8 again. The Giants might come down to earth a little bit. They had a good run, but and then the Cowboys are the Cowboys.
Well, see, and that's what Mike, and that's what Dre was saying, because he's like, how the hell are the Cowboys number
Yeah.
5 pick? You know what I mean, to win the
Yeah.
Super Bowl? Well, who else are you going to put in there? I mean, because you got the Buffalo. I'm really starting. My foot's halfway out off the train with Buffalo because I don't know what's going on. Every year they being picked and then they just fall apart. Buffalo, Bengals. Who else?
San Fran Eagles
San
and
Fran Eagles
Chiefs.
Yeah. So who else are you going to put up in there? You know what I mean? When he's like, well, how come Dallas is in there? Who else you gonna put in there?
The Jets.
Those
No,
five
stop.
teams are your
Minnesota.
Those 5 teams.
Right?
Yeah, Minnesota, the frauds.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you gonna
Yeah,
put Minnesota.
Minnesota with the
Kirk
frauds.
Cousins. Kirk
Those are your
Cousins.
5 teams. You
Well,
tell me,
actually,
guys.
Jermaine, from our beginning of the season predictions, it should have been Green Bay, maybe. I mean, I guess so. I mean, they from what I saw on that stat sheet, it was said plus 1,600. Before that, it was like 9,500. I mean, 950 odds, and then it just jumped right down. I think it was the Bengals who were like on that fourth to second to last of the list.
I don't care if Dallas is on there. Yeah, I can care less. You know what I mean? Stop. It's all cool. It's all good.
Well,
It's all good.
I think Dak Prescott has hit his ceiling. So, I don't know, Mike. What do you think? I think Dak's hit his ceiling. I don't see Dallas. Ezekiel Elliott is on his last legs. If he even comes back. I mean, like their defense is a great linebacker. They got one great linebacker, and that's basically it. I mean, Pollard, okay, yeah. So
I like to see what they do on offense. I think getting rid of Amari Cooper last year, I didn't understand that, and I think that came back to hurt them in the playoffs when they had really that one weapon, CeeDee Lamb, and that's it. I mean, they have so much talent. You look at the team, you always look at them and say, yeah, they should be pretty good, but it just seems like they never reached their potential. So who knows? Maybe they will figure it out. I don't think Mike McCarthy is really the guy. And Brian Schottenheimer, that they got an offensive coordinator, I'm not sure what he's going to add. They got to figure out something. They got to figure out a way of not letting Dak make mistakes. Like they got to either run the ball more and find a much stronger run game and keep him from feeling like he has to make that pass. Because when he starts passing the ball, it's like he just starts picking the wrong guy to throw the ball to. He always picks the guy that's like the home run hit that's covered versus the guy that's wide open that might be able to get a couple yards after the catch. So they got to simplify things for him, and I think having a better running game will help him out. But we'll see. They're a team that easily could be in turmoil next year and try to blow everything all up over again. Fire the coach and then maybe even get rid of Dak and trade him off somewhere and get a new quarterback and start from scratch again.
Well,
Yeah, you know what?
is
For a second,
Zeke
guys,
coming
hold
back?
on.
I mean, that's the thing. Is Zeke coming back? Because Tony Pollard, I mean, is he a 4-down back? I don't think he is.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
they'll have
but
to
Zeke's
find
gotta
somebody.
come back.
Back, but he's not a 4-down back.
Zeke's got to come back cheap because his
yeah.
contract right now is killing him. So they got to get him to restructure, or they just got to cut him and just get some other guys.
Hey guys, I got a little technical error.
Yeah, he's kind of like an anchor on that
Hey,
on that franchise.
Guys, I'm having a little
Definitely, and because they're gonna have to. Did they sign CeeDee Lamb? I think he's
Hey guys,
due soon.
I'm having a little trouble with the chat. I'm gonna have to stop for a second and just go right back again. So just bear with me while I get this chat back up. So because there's people trying to chat.
Okay.